Hey everybody, Scott Kelby here with RC Concepcion.
What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? How's it going?
It's going good. We are glad to have you guys on the grid. It's a very special day for us. Once a month, we do our blind photo critiques, and I'll tell you more about those in a minute. But RC, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Dude, you got a huge print in today.
Yeah, yes. The folks over at Image Wizards actually printed out that picture of the Burj Khalifa that I did.
Yeah, I come walking by RC's office, and he's holding a metallic version printed on metal of this giant print from that he did in Dubai.
I gotta try to see if I could. I'm gonna try to see if I could actually get into it.
But Image
I'll show
Wizards
it
did
at one
a
point.
beautiful job on it. Speaking of beautiful, we have Mr. Brad Moore with us here today. Hey, Brad.
What's going on?
How's it going, man?
Good.
That light,
Man, I tell you, they light you on a level that is just staggering.
luscious.
So what's going on? You been shooting any shows or anything lately?
Not lately, but I got one coming up next week. I'm excited
you
for.
shooting?
Well, it's not for sure, but Need to Breathe.
Need to breathe?
Need to Breathe. I shot them last year in Atlanta. It was a lot of fun.
All right, well, cool.
Oh, here we go. Look,
And Brad's going to be moderating your comments and stuff today. And RC has a,
that was me. That was me
do
actually.
you have that like set to the,
Yeah, it's going.
okay.
It's going through right
it's
now.
going through
It's on
to
control
the,
room 1.
there we go.
But that was me like taking it apart.
So they shipped it in wood?
Yeah, they ship it in like this. So this is Image Wizards, imagewizards.net. So they shipped it, right? There I am opening it.
Look how excited he
Oh
is.
yeah, I'm pumped. So that's the shot. This is the test print that we have on the left, but this print right here is,
It's bigger than, RC's a floating head now.
right? So that's the print right there.
Oh,
So it's on metal.
You know what? Unfortunately, you can't see how amazing it is in person. It's like, the best way I can describe it, it's like HD.
Yep.
It's like the difference between regular television and HD. That's how it looks. It looks
Yeah,
really,
it's-
really awesome.
It's nuts. It was pretty cool.
All right, so let me tell you about our blind photo critique show today. So here's what it is. We've asked our viewers to submit some of their images, 3 images, 5 images, something like that. And we are going to do blind photo critique. What the blind part means is we don't give anybody's name.
Right.
And the reason we don't give anybody's name is because we want to give real, honest critiques. Because in real life, nobody will ever do that. Most people, like your husband or wife isn't going to tell you your stuff isn't good. Your kids aren't going to tell you. Your coworkers aren't going to tell you. So we wanted to create something where we would be able to tell the truth without embarrassing anybody publicly. So that's what we're going to do. But we are going to tell how we really feel. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. And we're going to try to tell you why. And so even if your images aren't chosen, hopefully it'll still be a learning experience. By looking at what other people are doing, you can hopefully apply that to your work and help that as well. Brad is here moderating the comments today, as always. Ajna is here on the set doing our social media. Calibra is here just looking beautiful. And RC is here as well.
I just gotta adjust my shirt here real quick. I was one button down.
Something bit me. I'm like,
I was looking a little too sexy. I had that little extra.
yeah, you were. That was
The chest hairs were popping out.
They were. It was distracting. Anyway, so we do want your comments today, and if there's any particular comments that you want to make based on some of these images, Brad can send them over our way, and we'll talk about them as well. But let's get started. Let's jump right in.
Yep.
So this is our first batch of images. By the way, some people do occasionally leave a watermark in their name on it, and there's nothing we can do about that. You knew what you're doing when you send it in. So let's take a look at the first set of images here. As long as, am I still connected?
We're hoping. that you are.
Let me check my
Let's
connection.
check
No,
that one
I
again.
dropped off. Hang on 1 second. Sorry. All right. Are we back there? Let me see if I might have to make these a little bigger. There we go. I'm going to cheat, make them a little bigger. Okay, here we go. So here's our first image, and I'm actually going to. These images are a little small, so I'm going to have to kind of open them in Camera Raw. But this is our first one. All right, and let's take a look at a few more. I'm going to open it in Camera Raw so you can see it bigger. There's another one. I've actually shot there. This is in. It's either in Zion or this is Bryce, isn't it?
It looks like it's Bryce.
Yeah, I think it's Bryce. And this is a rodeo shot, a rodeo. Let's make it bigger here. Sorry, I'll fix this in the next round. It's kind of clunky what I'm doing here. And then a aerial shot.
Yep.
And another landscape. All right, so I can give you my first impressions. While this photographer is not shooting in like the ultimate light, I think they're shooting in pretty good light.
They most certainly are.
There's good composition. Let's go back to the beginning here and look. This first shot, I like it. It's got a lot of nice foreground. It's taken in the middle of the day, obviously. And do I think this picture would look better at 7:30, than it does at 4 or 5 o'clock here. But at least it's not harsh, awful light. It's close to harsh, awful light, but the other ones are better. I think this one, you can tell it's very, very late in the day or early in the day. Great clouds. I really like the way they composed with this nice foreground here with the flowers. I've seen a lot of shots of this area, and I've seen a lot of boring ones. I like this one.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good shot.
I think from a photography aspect, the timing might be a little off as far as what time of day, but the photography, the quality of the photography, I think is very good. This one is, I don't think, is nearly as strong as your landscape stuff. But it's not off. You got a moment of peak action, which is great, which is what we're looking for in sports. The photo looks a little flat. I mean, we could probably pump that up and all. But what it is this story is really about this, right? The rider and the horse.
Yep.
It's not about this woman outside the gate over here. It's not about these guys on the end that look kind of disinterested. The story is right here. You need to bring us that story. So I would say let's crop this in a whole lot tighter. Now, I don't mind some of the cowboys in the back because, well, cowboys are cool. But that's a much, much stronger image just cropped in tight. Just remember, ask yourself, what is this story about? This story is about that.
Well, one of the things that I like about having that crop that tight is it actually creates, while, like you said before, like these guys didn't look all that interesting in it, having the crop be a little bit tighter kind of creates a relationship between these people and these people.
I agree.
So all of a sudden it's like now they're watching, but he's going, whoa. So that relationship between the two.
Right. So still good photographer, still doing a good job. Capture the peak action. The hard part is capturing the peak action. The getting in tighter is not as hard. This one we're going to need a little work on. And so here's why, and is the propeller. If you're going to be shooting something with a spinning propeller, you shouldn't be freezing it kind of in midair like that. You want to see something, it's just like, it looks like a stick coming off it.
Right.
You want to see the rotation and all that kind of stuff. Go watch like one of Moose Peterson's classes, and he talks about the shutter speeds. You're shooting at 1/800th of a second, and I think that Moose would tell you to be at like 1/125th of a second or something like that. He's going to tell you to be a lot slower to capture that motion, which is very important in aerial photography. There's other things you did right, though. So that's just a little technique thing. That's something easy to fix. But you left room for the plane to go, right? You didn't put it right up against the edge. It's kind of interesting. So I'm going to move on, but I like this photographer's work. I think you're on the right track. You're totally in the game. You're doing some good stuff. Let's move on. Good job. Overall, I think really good. Really good job.
Doing good work.
Let's grab another one here. All right, this one's looks like some sports stuff, and they're large enough. I don't have to go mess with anything. Okay. All right, we're 2 for 2. Good photographer. I like this stuff.
Right.
Good. I love seeing the kid looking at that ball. I mean, it's a comical image, but it's interesting at the same time. Because he's got that great grimace. This one is not as nearly as interesting. I like the color. I like the post-processing, but it's kind of a dead ball.
Right. And the only thing that I would say, if I had to offer a comment for it, was that the vignette seems like it's a little harsh.
Yeah, it could be a little heavy on the vignette. Yeah. I like this shot. I like this one a lot. This is a pretty good shot. This one's a good shot. Again, I think you could, this doesn't bring anything to the table, this left side stuff. Let's look at a quick crop on that and see if we can make this shot a little stronger by getting rid of that superfluous junk over to the side here and bring you in a little tighter on the player because we don't need the guy. Yeah, I think that's a much stronger shot with the crop. And you know what? I've had my own portfolio critiqued by some really, some of the best sports photographers in the world. And can I tell you that most of their critiques are the same thing? Get in tighter. Get in tighter, get in closer. They've never said, you should have gone a little wider. It's always the same thing. And I feel like I'm cropping tight as anything until they show you and you go, yeah, I should have got tighter. But anyway, and lastly, I think this is a very interesting shot.
I like that.
That's
my favorite shot of the series.
Yep, I think this is This is a story. It tells a story. I think you guys, whoever this photographer is, I'm very impressed. I think you're doing a good job. You're so on the right track.
What I love about it is just the slight amount of blur. This is where you look at blur and you're like, this guy's using blur to tell a great story.
Yeah, it adds a little bit of motion, a little bit of excitement, but it's not so blurry you can't see the house and you can't tell it's Christmas. And
I'd see this frame. Like if I liked hockey, like I'd see this framed in the window.
yeah, this is a good one.
Great shot.
Very, very good. Nice job. Very, very good. Let's take another one. All right, let's see what we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you got some work to do. So, not bad, right? But these are kind of snapshotty looking. Mm-hmm. So, and what I mean by that is, if the person next to you pulled out their cell phone and took these shots, it's going to look pretty much like this.
Yep.
Now, if these are cell phone shots, then you're right where you should be. But if you're shooting a DSLR or something, you got to bring a little more to the game. This one's kind of interesting, but it's cropped so tight. Let's bring it up a little so you can see. It's cropped so tight that I'm not sure what's going on there.
It looks like a composite almost.
And it might be a composite, but I'm not sure really what's, it's...
No, I don't think it does anything for you.
Yeah, it's not helping you. This one looks like it was taken during a performance, and it looks like it was taken with maybe a point and shoot. And she's not doing anything like particularly interesting. She's got her arms out in front of her and she's smiling. It looks like it's in the middle of a performance. The exposure's correct. Mm-hmm. But it's not, no one's going to, you know what it is? These aren't images where you look at them and go, hey, wow, that's really interesting. Like you saw the hockey shot and it's just said, wow, that's interesting. And so these are just, they're okay. I don't know what to say. I'm not trying to be mean. This one, this guy with a hat on.
Okay, well, can I offer just a bit of advice for what's happening with this? I think that one of the things that when you have people in the shot, what you're looking for generally is for there to be a relation to what the face is doing. So like if you were to take a picture of my face, right, and you were to look this way, if I'm taking a shot of you this way, I want to be able to see you connecting with me this way. Right. So you want to see detail and things like that.
Or you're connecting with something else, another person.
And that's my point.
The ball.
Like if you look at all of his profile shots, because all of them are almost all profile.
Right.
So they're almost all like this. It's like there still has to be either a connection with what's happening with the subject. So like if I look this way and there was pain, I want to be able to see pain on the face because that pain is going to be what you connect forward.
And what's causing the pain.
In this instance, everything is off to the right and it's either blank or you don't see what's causing it.
Yeah, like what's he laughing at and why is he laughing? And it's not a particularly flattering picture, but there's technical problems wrong with this one as well. The technical problem is the background is very, very bright and he's very, very dark.
Yep.
So you could obviously bring up the shadows a bit here and then you got to take that background somehow. You got to get that background darkened. So, of course, you can do that here in Photoshop or wherever, Lightroom preferably. And get that background and just darken it up and let him be what your eyes are drawn to. And let me turn off auto mask. Auto mask is killing me here. All right, so let's just get this. All right, so this is not great, but look at the difference just to show you how you need to remap that light. That looks terrible, but do you get the idea? I mean, I'm looking at RC like RC gets the idea.
I get it.
But anyway, so that's it. So what it is I think there's a couple of things that you could do. This is a better picture, but I think that you're totally relying on the fact that you made it black and white. Not that it's a great picture. She's just got her mouth wide open. She's singing. This is something that happens every time someone sings the whole song about every song. So it wasn't a particular moment where she's holding the mic and she's belting it out and there's sweat pouring out. It's just like, yep, she's got a mic, she's singing. Someone does that in a nightclub every night, everywhere in America. So what it is they all have that snapshotty look because you're not bringing a lot to the table. RC really, I think, did you a great justice by saying what are we connecting with? This guy, his face is half cut off, half in shadows. It's not a smooth blend between the two. We don't know what he's looking like. And these are actually, for portraits, probably cropped too tight. Too tight. Just nothing. I don't know what he's looking at. And she's singing. You know what I mean? None of these are like, I'm just excited. These get me turned on. These are interesting. They're fascinating people. They're just, these are some shots you took.
Right.
And so what would I say to help you? Number one is I think you are getting in too tight. All right. Tight is great for sports. For some of these things, I think you're in too tight. Number three is there's not really engagement. The subjects aren't engaging with somebody else. They're not engaging really with an object. The last one was kind of engaging with a microphone. But if you ever like watch a class from like Alan Hess about shooting concerts and stuff, where he talks about trying to get the moment, and just like he tries to get a peak moment of action. You know, Brad is an awesome concert photographer. And can you see the image, Brad, that we're talking about? Can you come and weigh in on this real quick? Because it's not bad. I think it's the best of the bunch. But I think what makes it the best of the bunch is that you're kind of relying on the black and whiteness. So if
I won't be on camera, but if they can hear my mic.
So he won't be on camera, but we'll just hear from Brad here.
Yeah, I mean, it's the problem that every concert photographer faces is having the mic right in front of their face, and it just puts that shadow on there. And I don't know. It's a moment that happens in every concert. The singer's singing, they're into it, but there's nothing super unique about it. It's a black and white shot.
So you have some stuff to work on, but can I tell you, you're not like out of the ball game, right?
No.
You're not super in it yet, but I think you're looking over the fence and going, hey, there's a ball game going on there, and I got tickets. So you're not out of there, because I can see that you're trying, but you just got to go a little bit further with it. You just got to, you know what I would do? Honestly, go study the work of some great portrait photographers. Go look at like Gregory Heisler. Go look at some. You're doing a lot of location stuff. Go look at Joe's stuff. Go look at Brad Moore's stuff. Go to BradTakesPhotos.com. Brad takes, right?
Takes pictures.
Brad Takes Pictures. I'm sorry. Go to BradTakesPictures.com. Look at some of Brad's concert shots. I think what you're really lacking is it's not exposure problems. There was one but I think it's more. I don't think you're sure what makes a good photo.
It's engagement.
And so
I think you hit it on the head when you did the engagement thing.
Yeah, and get some more engagement from your subjects. I think that'll help a lot. Hey, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to look at more images. We're going to try to get through hopefully 15 here in the show today. That's 3 of them. I think we're off to a pretty good start. We got a couple of good photographers and a good photographer in the making. So we'll be right back after this break. Don't go away.
Hey guys, my name's Peter Hurley, and I just did a new class on Kelby1.com called The Art of the Edit. What is editing about? Do you shoot people? Let's say we do some amazing headshots and we do an amazing session. What do we have to do? We have to narrow that sucker down to the best shots. How do you pick the best headshot from all these pictures? Why am I picking this shot over this shot, or that shot over that shot, or that shot over that? Well, which one is she going to use? How are we going to know? This is my editing process. I'm going to pull out the shots that are the real winners out of there. I am looking for that elusive shebang shot. A shebang has lookability. It has something that makes me feel something inside. We're going to develop an eye for this. I'm going to show you how it's done. I'm going to show you how I do it. You have to find your own shebangs. Develop this muscle. The Art of the Edit, exclusively on Kelby1.com. Shebang!
Get the world's best photography, lighting, and Photoshop training at Photoshop World. It's 3 non-stop days of real-world training where you can get personal attention and unlimited access to the world's top instructors in Photoshop and photography. When you attend, you'll have chances to experience hands-on live shoots and workshops. This is the must-attend conference for photographers and Photoshop users. Sign up today. Photoshop World, the world's best Photoshop and photography conference.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Grid. Scott Kelby here, myself, RC. Scott, we're going to do some more critiques.
Yeah,
Before
right
you do.
Two things.
Okay.
You guys just watched the Photoshop World ad. I just wanted to tell you we're adding something new to Photoshop World. Every year we're trying to add new stuff. Just this year we're trying to take it up a big notch.
Okay.
We're adding these things called labs. So what a lab is, for example, I'm teaching a lab. So I'm teaching a lab on retouching.
Okay.
You just bring your laptop. It's a hands-on lab, so it's limited to maybe 50 people. You bring your laptop. I'm not teaching a class. You bring the images that you work on, and you just come in and work on your images. But I'm there in the classroom with you. I'm walking around. So when you're doing the typical stuff that you do every day, right? So you're working on your stuff, and you kind of hit a snag or you have a question on an image that's your image, raise your hand. I come over and go, oh, here, try this, try that. So it's kind of like, when we do workshops, when RC and I do workshops, one of the big things that people want is lab time. They want time to sit at their computer and work on stuff, but they want to be able to ask us questions. We're doing that now at Photoshop World.
Right.
So they're topic specific. You can pick the lab you want to go to. Just bring your laptop, set it on down, make sure your battery's fully charged, and start to work on your own stuff. And we're there to help you. So that's one of the many new things that we're adding. They didn't talk about that in the ad, so I just thought I wanted to mention it.
I'm actually doing a lab in Lightroom.
You're doing a Lightroom lab? There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
So you just come and work on Lightroom. I think Dave Black, isn't he? Is he doing a sports one, I think?
I believe he is.
Yeah, there's some. Anyway, we got a whole bunch of them. It'll be a lot of fun. And we got lots of new stuff, but that was one of the things. Go to photoshopworld.com for all the details. The second thing is, guys, you got to go check out my guest blogger today. He did a great job. Nick Fancher wrote an article. I'm going to let you see a little bit of it here. Wrote an article today, and it was basically on like really, really budget lighting. Like not budget lighting, just budget everything, like how to get great results. So look at this. She's standing up against a window, but he's lighting her with just one flash and a grid. Want to see the shot? Yeah, that's awesome, right? So anyway, he goes through here and shows all these different setups and this great stuff that he's coming up with just the most unbelievably minimal budgets. It's a terrific read. It's a great lesson. It's really great. Go over to scottkelby.com and check him out. He really did a wonderful job. Brad came to my office yesterday and said, dude, you got to go check out the guest blog. Brad's in charge of the guest blog program, and he put it together and said, you got to go see it, and it's terrific. He did a great job. Hats off to Nick for doing that. All right. Let's talk about some critiques. Let's go to the next one here, if we may, and see where we are. We looked at that one already. Let's try this one. Let's see what we got real quick. We got
Michael Jackson? No?
No?
Sorry. No.
Okay, I'm loving these last two images. They look very commercial. I'm gonna just open them all in Camera Raw so I can make them as big as I want. So I love these last two images. I love this one. I love their expressions. I like the way the whole room is lit. I like all kinds of stuff about it. I really like this one's kind of dramatic. I would have liked to have seen it an hour later, but still, I think it's well lit and well done. So there's a lot of like technically good stuff here. This one, you can actually still see their faces. I hope it's coming across that way. You can see it here. It's just all backlighting, no front lighting at all, and maybe a reflector or something. Not bad. This is, I could, and this one, but there's some really good stuff going on here. I think you're on the right track in a big way. I
would have wished on that second to last one, that bright shot.
This one?
I would have wished they were probably like an inch and a half over to the right. If you wanted to nitpick
we could nitpick
again,
it.
These are small nip. I think it's a great shot. I think you got something there.
Yeah, they look very commercial. These look like I can make money.
Commercial photography.
I can make money with these shots, so that's good. This one is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's a band or, three random guys. So I'm going to guess it's a band or three hairstylists run amok. Their hair looks really fabulous. This is I think absolutely the weakest one. Look at the crop. It is a nanosecond from his face.
It does look like a 50 too.
Yeah,
look at the top of the head.
Yeah, you're not doing him much service in this shot at all. It's not a very flattering photo, and it looks like you kind of had to go in because there wasn't enough light over here. You had to artificially lighten his eye, and it makes him look creepy. It's kind of like almost a ghosty kind of effect. Now, if he is a cast member on The Walking Dead, you're very close.
Auditioning for Twilight, you got him.
Twilight. And this one, I think it, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a bad concept, but it's not quite there.
It doesn't look fully formed.
But you know what? This is a good photographer. You're on the right path. You got some really good stuff. You're obviously capable of making commercial quality shots. So I would just say, Keep up the good work. As always, looking at other people's work certainly helps, but I think where you're going down here and here is a really good path.
Yep.
I think where you're going up here,
And you know what? I think
is not a good
I think that the mood, I'm a big fan of that kind of
Yeah, I like the
darker drama that's with it. You just gotta kind of bring it up a little bit. Like if you're at -10, you gotta kind of bring it to -6. It's just maybe a little too dark, or you're trying a little too hard on the drama side.
Not bad though. I mean,
Nope.
you're getting there. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Oh, let me open these. Let me just save ourselves the trouble. Okay. It's an old guy. Now I'm going to love this guitars. Jeez. Okay. All right, RC, thoughts?
I wish that would have been a little bit tighter. I kind of would have wanted that a little bit tighter. It almost it looks a little HDR. It's almost missing a little bit of, you went right to where I was going to go, which is contrast.
It was looking pretty flat there, but it does look like it's been heavily post-processed.
Right. So, I mean, I would have wanted it a little bit tighter. I understand that the hat is the problem.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to cut off the
But this
hat.
isn't helping him down there, right?
Yeah. So in that, and you know what? Here's the thing. Here's an odd thing. Like I'm a fan. Like I absolutely have no problem with cropping it like that. I'm so glad you went there. I think a lot of the times, I think a lot of the times people want to stick with the perspective, like or the ratios, like 3.2s if you shot DSLR or 4.5s. But if it's excessive, it's excessive. Don't necessarily.
I don't know if anybody would know this shot was cropped.
Yeah.
It's not such a crop that you go, oh, it's obviously been cropped or whatever. Or you could go with square, which I don't think is horrible either. Let's go ahead and just draw a big square and just do a straight up square.
Yeah,
That's not horrible either.
And that's the thing. Like I always tell people, like as a general rule, and this is my own opinion, it's just when you crop something, whether it's proportional or not proportional, all that really does is affect how that you can't get a frame off the rack at a store.
Right.
That's all it does.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, if you can crop it to get rid of the excess noise in the picture, and you just want to get the meat, go ahead and crop it.
If
Get
it
rid
makes
of
it better, yeah. Look how flat that image is right off the bat.
It is a little flat,
All right,
though.
let's go to the guitar image. So I'm always going to be predisposed to like guitar images. However, there's some bad stuff going on here. So see the reflection? It looks like maybe you standing above the guitar. What you need to do, and I'm just going to sound like a broken record, is go look at how guitars are lit. Mm-hmm. Right, go to you got a Les Paul here. Go to look how Gibson and Fender, there's a Gibson SG, there's a Tele, a Fender Tele, Fender Strat. Go look how Fender and these companies actually light their guitars, and see how they're doing them. You're going to see that they light them with a lot of depth. These look a lot very, very flat, and when they don't look flat, I see you and all kinds of reflected stuff in there. Right. So it's a good look. I kind of like the overall composition and stuff, but if you see your whole body there, you won't. What you should see on this guitar is a nice highlight going right down the body, something like that.
Right.
But still not bad. This one, so there's some technically good things going on and some really bad things. The technical good thing is that her face is the brightest. It's drawing you to there, and there's a lot of fall off. The bad thing is the roof. The roof is really, it's like this. I don't want to see the roof lit.
Right.
Right? You know what it is? You got the lighting right if it looks real. Mm-hmm. This looks really artificially lit. It's not horrible. It's not harsh and all that stuff, but it's just... It looks very artificial. It almost looks like another car has lit this car. Like there's a headlight off in the distance that lit this.
She's about to get T-boned.
The other thing that looks bad is, and this is going to be a technical nitpick, but if you entered this in any kind of print competition or anything, her eyes are mostly whites of the eyes. Her eyes are way too far over. And like a lot of times when I'm shooting portraits, I will tell the subject, when you do a 2/3 look or a 3/4, and you're gonna look over to the side here, don't look as far. Look a little like to my right. Like I'll hold my hand up and say, look here, because they'll tend to look so far and you get a lot of white. I like the styling on the subject. There's some interesting styling. It's an interesting car. It's just like the whole concept isn't quite pulled off, and it's mostly on the lighting.
I got to tell you, look at the
eyes.
square crop on that, though. You did a square crop, and you know what's bothering me is this blackness here,
Yes.
and this blackness here. So it's like a car, but you don't really see where it's going.
Yeah, it's a concept it's not
But the
quite
square,
there. It's
like,
not terrible.
You went in on a square crop, and it actually looked kind of neat.
And this is some chairs. Anyway, I don't know what to say here. It's some old chairs, and you HDR'd it to death. That's why it says. That's why the name says. Watch. Edit. I edited it and went back and over edited it. So it's not a terribly. You know what it is? I would ask you this, and I'm not being mean, but is that really all that interesting? Some old beat up chairs.
Right.
I know that there's people that like old beat up junk, but most people aren't going to go, "Oh, that's so cool, old beat up chairs."
Now, that said, if you had a person right here,
Yeah.
and you shot from right here,
Yep, and then it has some context. But as it is, old abandoned chairs that are broken just aren't like, wow, that's an awesome topic. So you know what? You're trying, and you're not doing bad. You're just not quite there yet. But you're close. You're not far off. So keep working at it. You're getting there.
tighten it up. Tighten up the crops.
Tighten up the crops a little bit. Be a little more careful with your lighting all the way. So these two are lighting issues. This one is not terrible lighting, but you need to tighten up the crop, and you need a little bit better post here. And then I think you could back off on your post here and there. I think you might be able to back up. I don't think there's a single pore in her face. You might back off on the retouching a little. It's just there's a little bit too much Photoshop going on here and not enough lighting and stuff. But you're not too bad. So let's see what else we got here.
I just did a quick.
That's a better crop. That's better. RC's got a better, just the square crop's better for that. You know why? Because you don't have that, we still have some black in the windshield, but you don't have that big pool of black.
Yep, sitting in that one area. So, yeah, let's just see right here. That one. So I'm trying to see if I can pull some of that shadow stuff out. Probably a little bit much, but yeah, it's something. It's not bad, but I do like that. I do like that crop. It's a little bit tighter. I think it's a little bit better.
All right, want to see some nice images?
Yeah.
Here we go. Now I'm trying to make it bigger. Unfortunately, I can't open these in Camera Raw for reasons I cannot understand. Well, they're whatever reason they sent us something that Camera Raw doesn't support. But that's an interesting looking image. Now, this one obviously has a lot of post-processing, but I think it's actually done fairly well. The next image over, look at this. I think this is a very interesting image. It's got a lot of post-processing, as you can see, but I think it's still nice looking image. I love that you can see through the water, and I like their use of foreground and space. And then this is a surfing shot, which looks okay. It's all I can see is, I'll have to zoom in. This is zooming in and it's not going well. All you can really see is the end of the board, and it's kind of out of focus. This one's not it's still an interesting shot though. It's still kind of an interesting shot.
Yeah.
It's almost like an artsy kind of thing. You wouldn't call this a sports shot. It's more of an artsy shot. It's an eye, a spooky eye. That one's kind of So here's what I would tell you. And this is cool that you can see, and this one can open up actually. So this one, I like the roundness of this. This is, I think, a very interesting shot. So what I would say to you is you've really got some great skills for your landscape and your outdoor stuff. Stick with that. And your post-processing is pretty good. If you wanted to turn down your post-processing by 15%, I think it would help you, not hurt you. So if you wanted to, so imagine the post-processing that you have on there, and you did it on a layer. You did everything on a layer, and then just lowered the opacity by 15%. I think you'd be in much better shape. RC's got something he wants to show you.
Yeah, no, I thought that this picture that he had here was a beautiful picture, and I love the inclusion of the foreground into it, but really, you're missing this part right here, the mirror that's happening here. If you isolate that mirror between here and here, you do really well. How do you isolate it? A crop.
Oh, that's nice. And I know what the struggle the photographer had with those pebbles, and the stuff is so nice and so see-through that you don't want to give that up. But you know what? That's probably a stronger composition right there.
Yeah, I think it accents the most beautiful portion of the picture.
But you know what? I like this. I like this photographer. I think he's or she is doing a very good job. I think you're pretty darn accomplished. Your landscape stuff, there's no sense in doing this when you can do that other stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
Stick with what you're rocking on. Really hone those skills, and you'll have a beautiful portfolio of stuff. But not bad at all. Not bad at all. Let's see. We have some architecture here. Okay. So here's the thing. I guess you have to make a decision. If you're going to do like what architectural photographers would consider to be technically correct, that building shouldn't be leaning back. Now, that being said, for like travel photography and stuff, if you're not a straight up serious architectural photographer, I like the buildings leaning back. But I can tell you that if we were showing this to a panel of architectural photos, it would go no further than this. They'd go, next, please, and you'd be done. So these are... I know the look that you're trying to get, and I wish I could give you a photographer's name. I'll tell you what, go to 500px, look at their architectural photography. I know the look you're trying to get. This isn't the look, but I know what you're trying to get. RC will go find you some. Same thing with this. Great composition. I love the minimalness of this.
This is my buddy Dennis. He's from here, from Tampa.
Oh, so this guy's doing it. Show that shot right there. This is what you're trying to get. That kind of look, right?
But I mean, he's using.
But I'm thinking of even people that are doing it darker. They're really going super dark. I saw some the other day that were just stunning.
Hey, let me try to find Dennis's.
All right, you look on that. I'm going to look over here.
Oh, here. There you go.
Oh, like that. Ooh, look at that. That's where you want to go.
Yeah. Dennis is killing it with these things.
Yeah.
So just take a look. I would take a look at his work.
Give me one more second. Don't flip over yet.
Here.
But there's something I want to.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and just go through.
Yeah.
Here's his shot of the Guggenheim.
The Googie.
The Googie. I mean, he's, let's see. I'm trying to find another picture here. Here's a good one. Here's in Orlando, not too far from here. Right. So he's really got that kind of technique that's super dark,
and that's really
technique.
popular right now. That is a hot look.
So let's take a look at one more here. So I've seen this guy work on a bunch of different things, and he's really found his home in this kind of work.
So here's
really
another
good
one.
stuff.
Take a look at this on. Jump over my screen, if you will. This kind of stuff. You're seeing a lot of this now. This has got a blue tint on it, a cyanotype or something. But you're seeing a lot of things along these lines. So I see where you're trying to go, and you're on the right path. Does that help? Go and look at some of these photographers. Go and look at, where can you find your buddy's work?
Here. So if you go to, I just closed it out here. Yeah, if you go to 500px.com/Dennis Ramos. So just look him up there, Dennis Ramos. He's got a lot of really, really good work that he's doing there. So
yeah. So the photography, I think, like compositionally, you're getting there. I think we need a little. You got to have a goal in mind.
A little bit more finesse on the shot.
Yeah, a little more finesse on the shot. This other one's kind of, it's just kind of a snap. This one's kind of interesting color, but not much else going on there. And this is just bad. This is like a cell phone shot and not a good one. So we'll pretend that last one you didn't send in, but the other ones, the first three, I think you're doing good on.
Yep.
You're in the game there. So good on you. All right, let's see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is that the same person?
I think some of these are. I think she is the same as she. No, those two are the same, right? That is.
I think it could be the same.
The same as that. No. No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
No. This person and this person, I think, are the same. This person and that person are the same. This is not anybody the same.
Train tracks.
Ooh, dangerous stuff. Okay, so RC, I'll let you take.
Truthfully, it's like two different people. Really, like if you look at it stylistically, if you wanted to be judged as a whole for the pictures, right? If you submitted this as a body of work of you indicative as a photographer, the second and the third one are really good examples if you wanted to show kind of a specific style. The first, the third, and the last kind of just like you were there. Like you happen to be there. She happens to have a little bit of a pretty, I mean, she's a pretty girl, but it's just like she's looking at you, but there's no light, there's no character, there's no mood. It's just kind of
Yeah, these are just kind
and that's just weird. And just like, I'm all for charging the mountain of trying to make the good shot. The last one, it's like, I'm all for like trying to charge the mountain for the railroad track.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the guy that does the railroad track shot. You're not. It's not a good shot.
And you know what? The lighting is pretty bad here. That looks.
It almost looks on camera flash.
Same thing here. So this one's not as bad. This one's straight up bad lighting. This one is bad. It's very flat. This looks like you stood straight in front of her. Look at her hair. It's just. By the way, her hair is blue, so your white balance is off. Unless her hair is really blue, I'm kind of thinking it's probably not. I'm probably thinking that this is a white balance issue and her hair should not be blue,
right.
But their skin tone isn't. There's all kinds of bad stuff going on here. I mean, if you just want, this looks like your kid took a picture of another girl in high school. It's not, the best two I think are these two, this one and this one. That one's cropped a little tight. You want to leave about a third of the hair. Mm-hmm. And you basically took it all off at the tight. Mm-hmm. That one's just straight up cropped too tight. This one is cropped. This one's cropped much better. This is the best picture far and away.
Yep.
The light is flattering. It's not too harsh. I think she may be over retouched a little bit, but overall this is not too bad.
Right.
This is not cropped correctly. These are bad. You know what you need to work on? Let's work on lighting. Yep. I really think you need to work on the softness and quality of light, but what's weird is you can do it. Let me ask you a question in this shot. What's the brightest thing in the image? What's my eye drawn to? Train tracks. Let me tell you what. Photographers, do yourselves a favor. Stay the hell away from train tracks, period. Just stay away from them. They're dangerous. I just heard of was somebody shooting video, just got killed in a week or so, shooting video on a train track guy, right? Number two is, it looks like this. It's just photographers, do yourself a favor. Stay the hell, and I don't like to use the word hell, we're going to. Stay the hell away from the train tracks. Just do it. So this photographer, study light.
I would say that not even then. Because I was going to say, unless like the pictures like of a hobo person with like hobo clothing and the little pole with the little polka dot bag behind you.
Stay away from the railroad tracks.
Then stay away from the railroad.
We're going to take a break because it's time. I think once you see the railroad tracks shot,
it's time for a cleanup.
It's time for a cleanup. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we got more. I think we're a little over halfway through. I have no idea how long the show is going to be today because they never started the timer, so we'll just go as long as it takes. And we'll see you guys after the break. Don't go away.
Create your own space at squarespace.com.
Hi everybody, Scott Kelby here, and I want to tell you about my brand new full-day seminar. It's called Shoot Like a Pro Reloaded, and it picks up right where the last seminar tour left off. It's that next level of stuff. The first class is called The Secret Sauce. You've got this nice camera, you have some really nice lenses, but you're still not getting the kind of shots you want. It's because you gotta know the secret sauce. Number two, the second class of the day is called My 7-Point System for Lightroom, or if you use Camera Raw, it's for that. And you're gonna learn the 7 things you need to know. Once you know those 7 things, it's gonna change the way you work in Lightroom or Camera Raw forever. Third class of the day is called Really Great Lighting on a Really Tight Budget. And we show you how to do that next level of lighting, but we keep it simple and we keep it inexpensive. The next class is called The Stuff That Nobody Tells You. And when I did the class for the first time, you know what everybody came up at the end of the day and said? Why doesn't anybody tell us this stuff? So that's what we're gonna do in the 4th class. And we end the day with photo recipes where I go through basically a cookbook of type of images. Here's what the image looks like and here's exactly how to get it. Hope I'll meet you in person on my brand new from scratch tour. It's called Shoot Like a Pro Reloaded.
Welcome back, everybody. RC here with Scott Kelby. We're doing photo critiques this time on the grid. What do you got in front of us now?
We got some stuff. Hey, before we do this, I just want to mention we had new every Thursday new classes come out.
That's right.
Last week we had a great class come out, Copyright Essentials for Photographers. Attorney Ed Greenberg and Jack Reznicki. They've got all the latest information. It's very important. Protecting your copyright, registering your work. It's all new and updated for 2015. Go watch this, guys. This is more important than anything we're going to talk to you about on this show today. Go watch their class. Ed and Jack are terrific. You need to know this stuff. It's really, really important.
Now,
while you're there,
you can take a look at another class called Extraction and Close-Ups in Nelson Ghost Town by Bill Fortney. And Bill takes you through one of his favorite places to photograph, the Nelson Ghost Town in Nelson, Nevada. You'll learn about all of Bill's gear for this type of project and follow along as he walks through each of the photographic setups. You can find these classes and more over at kelby1.com.
Bill is a terrific photographer and he's wonderful at that kind of stuff. A lot of people like shooting that old stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
And Bill shows you how to do it in a way that's very interesting. His composition makes it fantastic. Make sure you go watch those. All right, let's go really quick. Okay, so a couple images. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4.
They're okay.
Not bad. It's all not bad. This one is unfortunately shot in really nasty light. So this one, same kind of photo in better light. But I would say 3 things would make this photo better. Number 1, better light. It's just very flat and harsh. Number 2, better looking butterfly. Number 3, better flowers. So here's the thing, and this is going to sound like a stupid thing, but all of those things matter. Mm-hmm. Right? So you basically, oh, look, a butterfly landed on an ugly flower. Bang, you took it. It's an ugly butterfly. It's an ugly flower. Shot in ugly light. This is the result.
I thought it was a moth.
It
which
could
is
be
weird because I was
maybe it
just
is a
like,
moth. I don't know. It's
that doesn't look good.
So unfortunately, for a shot like this, it's missing everything that you would really want. Beautiful flower, beautiful butterfly. The composition's not bad. Everything else is bad.
Yeah.
Like technically, as a photographer, did you technically do a good shot? Yes, it's technically good. It's properly exposed.
But you could have a technical shot of an ugly subject.
It's all bad here. This is kind of nice. It's kind of interesting. I like the sky. I like that there's some little highlights in the
that little dot.
That little dot could probably go away, but otherwise it's okay. This is kind of interesting strictly because of the light, and I could nitpick it, but it's okay. And this is my favorite. It looks like something frozen, and it's kind of interesting. So not bad. I really don't know what to tell you to move you further down your path. You're taking not bad shots. Better subjects always help. Certainly when it comes to that flower shot. Mm-hmm. But
now, how do you get a good? How do you go out if you're going to try to do this and you're going to try to get a really, really good flower shot?
Yeah.
How do you get a really good flower?
Well, first is, I think what we saw, you ever hear when they talk about a criminal like breaking into a car, that it's a crime of opportunity? They were in the parking lot and they walked by and you saw you left your iPad on the seat, mm-hmm. They broke the window and took your car. That's how that shot of the flowers felt. You walked by and said, oh, look, there's a butterfly. I'll just get it. Oh, good, I got it. And you're kind of happy that you got the... Oh, I captured that moment where the butterfly was sitting still. But you need to go look. You know who actually takes really good, really, really good butterfly shots? You will not believe who it is. Rick Salmon. Rick Salmon did an entire book on butterflies and stuff. But there's a lot of people out there. Go to 500px, type in butterflies, and you'll go, oh, that's what I'm supposed to get. Number 1 is, if you can't go someplace that has beautiful flowers, buy beautiful flowers. But you know what you need to do to get a great butterfly shot? There's 2 things to do. Number 1 is you need to go to what's the word of the place where the butterflies are?
Butterfly sanctuary.
Butterfly sanctuary. It's not a sanctuary. It's called a butterfly emporium? What?
Butterfly Emporium. That's what it is.
A butterfly farm. I know this. It's called a butterfly farm. Do you know why I know this?
Why?
Because Sabine wants to be a lepidopterist.
Oh, of course. That's
which is a person who studies and works with butterflies.
okay. All right.
It's a butterfly farm.
Okay, so you want to go to a butterfly farm, but
Or a
you can
conservatory.
go to a lot of places that have a nature. I can't think of the
Preserve.
word. No, but botanical gardens. Botanical gardens. A lot of botanical gardens, even places like Busch Gardens and things, will actually have a butterfly area. Inside there are already beautiful flowers, and they're usually under a cover because they don't want the butterflies to fly away. You're all set up to make a beautiful flower shot.
Yep.
That's where you go when you want to make a beautiful butterfly shot. There is number 2. I didn't do this. I know someone that did it. You can order by mail order alive but frozen butterflies. So you take the butterflies, you put them in your freezer, you freeze them, and they don't die. Well, hopefully not. And then you basically take them out frozen and let them thaw on a beautiful flower, and they wake up, but they can't fly yet. So you get like a 10 or 15 minute thing where the butterfly's right there. And I kid you not, my wife was looking at me like,
Yeah, basically,
I didn't do this.
You freeze them
I know
into
somebody that did.
You freeze them into a state of suspended animation.
Yeah,
and
when
what
they're kind
happens
of like,
is-
whoa, it's really cold.
and then from there, then
Yeah.
you go. Now that said, you
It's
can
a
also
bad day for a butterfly.
you can also do this. You can actually mail out to get the actual worms, and you can grow your own butterflies. You can take those butterflies, then put them on a flower, and then do the responsible thing: take them to a farm and get rid of them. Then,
or just release them.
Just release them
the
into a
wild,
park, and
or
then you're
release them
totally
into
fine.
RC's cars, which is what I
because
did.
I've actually raised like three
I
sets.
I took a bunch of frozen butterflies. I put them in RC's car. They all molted at the same time. It was awesome. Anyway, there are a couple of ways to do it. My wife was looking at me like, what, honey? I swear to you, I didn't do it. But a friend of mine told me about it, and he had a big picture on his wall, and I was like, Jim Kearns calls them butterfly sweatshops.
And you know what the
It
horrible
is
part
kinda
about it is?
off,
I
but-
remember seeing that picture, and I remember saying to myself, "Is that frost on the butterfly?"
we were actually going to take a picture of the picture and replace it with one with frost on it. Sorry.
Let's
just as
go.
a joke.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. All right. That was so. Anyway, you're not doing bad. You're doing okay. I think you're all right. So, all right. Let's see what we have here.
Yes. Yes.
Close to yes. Close to yes. Yes.
Love that.
Yeah. Okay. So you got some good stuff going. You got some skills. Nice styling.
Yeah. Yes.
It's very bright down here, but that's giant. I'm just kind of picking. Very bright down here. I like what's going on up here. I like the styling down here. It's just too bright. Like, why is it bright over here? All right, over here. This shot it's kind of well lit. You didn't overlight the floor. I don't need to see her legs that bright. So we could have you could do a little dodging and burning here, bring this one, but this is actually pretty good.
I love her face, though.
I love her face, but I hate that the brim of her hat's going right over there. Look how bright her nose is. It looks like this is almost clipping in here. There's some technical problems going on here. She's got great attitude. This is a great subject. Let's shoot her someplace else that's more flattering.
A scrim would have helped you
A
so much.
a $19 Westcott diffuser, a one-stop Westcott diffuser, $19.95 from B&H. Go buy one right now. You could have saved that shot because she's got a great attitude. This is a very nice shot. The lighting's kind of flat, but it's very nice. I like the little backlittedness to it. I like the composition. It's a very nice shot. Just very nice. She would be very happy to get that. It looks good. And this one is the least, I think, of the bunch.
She's possessed.
She's possessed, and she has lots of whites in her eyes, tons of whites in her eyes, and she's just like Peter Hurley would look at this shot and say, she's giving you nothing.
Yeah.
So, but photographer, good photographer, good technique.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got here. All right, I'm going to open these. I'm going to see if there's your JPEGs.
I'll save you trouble.
Thanks.
Snapshot.
Snapshot. Yeah. So here's the thing. You got to move from person that's taking snapshots to person that's making images. This is really a case of it's none of them are like terribly exposed. It's not like, oh, you're way too dark or way too bright. These just look like pictures you took with your cell phone, and I imagine they probably are. That's probably a pano you took with an iPhone. I don't know what to say. I wish I could tell you.
Wrong time of
Like,
day.
yeah, wrong time of day. Just a boring location.
You
Yep,
shot out
that's
the
in-
window of a car.
Yeah,
Let's-
you're driving by and
right time of day.
Right time of
What does that
day.
person have to do with anything?
yeah, I don't know what. And there's some weird lens flare coming in here. That's just I don't know. I don't even know what. I don't know what post processing could save this, but that might help.
Like, even if you knew that person, it's still kind of like a,
Yeah, I mean, it looks like some kind of like an Indian ceremony or something, but unfortunately, this one, of the people today, I think you probably have the farthest journey to go, because these are all.
you see color. That's a good thing. I
Yeah.
mean, you see that there's some times where you could see some color. You just kind of wrestle the subject down a little bit more.
Yeah. So number one, let's give you a few things to do. Number one, start looking for more interesting things. A lot of times in photography, you look out the window and you're standing in front of something and it looks really, really beautiful, and you hold your phone up and now it looks kind of crappy. So I think that's kind of where you are. Like when you're standing there in front of it all, oh, this is so gorgeous, and then you take the shot and it's a little sliver of it.
Right.
That's number one. Sorry, about to sneeze there. Number two, you know what it is?
There's just
More interesting subjects. Number three, like even this one, this one is an interesting subject, shot from the wrong side. I can't see the person. Is it a guy? Is it a girl? Are they saying something? Is there a moment? There's a horrible lens flare. Go to 500px, look at landscape photography, look at the guy we talked about earlier that had the beautiful waterfalls and the beautiful, just this is.
yeah, this like a sunset shot doesn't not a picture. It doesn't make a good just because it's
No,
a sunset.
it's a sunset,
The
yeah.
sunset has been setting for millions of years in millions of really cool places.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for you to get in there and actually get a really good
Yeah.
sunset shot.
And see this, like up here, you could make a nice star bright at f/22. That's not one.
But it would still be just kind of a meh shot.
Yeah, they're all just kind of meh. You need to work on your meh factor. I think you're in another one of those situations where you're not sure what makes a good photo. So you're obviously shooting landscapes. You need to go to 500px, look at their landscapes, and you're going to see a tremendous gulf between what they're doing and what you're doing. And so your first step is to start looking at that gulf. Looking at what they're doing and start picking it apart and going, wow, these are really great because, and write them out. One of your things isn't going to be because it was a sunset. You're going to say, these are really great because there's a lot of foreground in the image. There's this, there's that. You need to dissect them like a detective would.
And is the
Take a
camera
piece of
higher? Is the
paper.
camera lower? Is it including more sky
Are they using
or
a
less
wider
sky?
lens? Or they, just kind of really look at what some of the really good landscape photos are doing on 500px.
Yeah.
And let's see what else. Let me get rid of this here. And let's look at a couple more. We're running out of time, but we only have a few left. Let's look at some football. All righty. Okay, not bad at all. You have, like, as you probably were to guess from watching earlier in the show, you have a cropping situation. So do these people over here bring anything to this photo?
No.
No. Where's the story? Here. So let's bring the story in. The story is really right here. That's where the story. Look how much more compelling that shot is right there. Now you're seeing their face. You're seeing the guy's eyes behind it. Now you're seeing him grabbing his shirt, right?
That's a
I
shot.
think that's a hold. No, I'm just a little football
Hold
joke
him.
there. No, and anyway, but yeah, I think this is a much more compelling photo, and I think exposure wise and everything else, you're freezing the action and stuff. Same thing here. What is this guy looking? What is this guy? They're not even in the frame. The story is right here. If you wanted to get this, let's get in there and get that. So number one, you don't need all this other junk. You don't need this guy over here. Oh boy, I just screwed the crop up. Get it? Screwed the crop? Can I please just fix my thing here? Let's clear the crop. Sorry, I'm doing terrible things. You need to be somewhere like, well, if you do it here, you're going to lose the ground, but it's a better shot even there. You're also clipping highlights So let's pull some of those back. Because you're losing detail in their jersey. It's a little overexposed, and the football's here a little. My cropping isn't great there, but you know what to do. This one's kind of good, except for the crop. Take a look. You got way more junk in there than you need. This is about his emotion. He missed a pass, or he was covering someone and didn't get there. So if you want to show their whole body, go there.
Right.
Because at least you get rid of all the other junk. But if not, you have the option of really making it about him. Let's press the letter X to switch the crop and really make it about him. Really get it really, really tight. Unfortunately, I'm zoomed in a little tighter than it should be. But really get it in there. I need a little more light in his face to appreciate that he's really super bummed. I mean, he's hanging his head. You don't need to see his arms to know he's dejected.
Right.
And then, we got to bring the sharpness up and stuff. But I think this is mostly cropping. Your other stuff looks pretty good, And
Could it be a lens choice? Could it be a lens problem?
No, because he's capable of getting pretty tight.
Okay.
Right? And this one, boy, there's another one where, why am I seeing all this junk over here? Look at where the action is. Where's the story in this shot? The story is right over here. It's not these guys back there. It's right in here. In fact, you could go really tight with this and have a very, very compelling picture. So.
Yep.
So that's kind of where we are. They're, good stuff though. You're in the game big time. Ooh, now we're talking. 3 really good shots. Really good. Look like Regina Pagels-esque, kind of. I like the post-processing.
Yeah.
I think these are kind of interesting. I like the kind of characters. I think this is a great portrait. Yeah. And then this is, it's nice.
Yeah, it's okay.
Kind of looks like an Instagram-y type of shot. Yeah. And I don't even know what this is. It's, somebody shot on stage and their tongue's hanging out. It's kind of interesting, actually. And it's black and white, but really, you got 3 really, go with this stuff. See this stuff? You got it going on.
That does look definitely very Regina Pagels.
You got it going on. It does look very Regina Pagels, but I think that's a huge compliment.
Absolutely.
So look, you got some good stuff here. You got some really good stuff. You're going in the right direction. I think you're on to something.
Great styling. Great
Yeah,
use of
this
props.
is great. Yeah, good styling. I like the characters. You're getting some interesting looks out of them. I think you are so going down the right direction. This stuff is nice, but everybody can do this.
Yep.
Well, not the last guy, but everybody else can do this. And this is it's kind of a cute shot, guy playing drums, but it's your sweet spot is over here. Stick with that.
Yep.
All right, let's see. A little sports, more sports. I like this one because you really caught that at the peak moment, right. And she's got a good expression. I don't know if I need to see her feet and all that stuff, because when you show me all that, I'm also seeing this. This is the most distracting thing in the world. What would make these shots a lot better is some separation from the background. The problem is you're shooting at an f-stop in the middle of the day that is not blurring that area behind you. That area behind her should be way, way out. I can't see what your f-stop is, but it should be like f2.8 or f4. I'm just going to give you an example. I'm just going to have to open this in Photoshop to show you what a difference it would make if you did have the right, oh, come on, open up. Open image there. If you did, and this is going to be really look crappy because I don't have enough time to make it look right. But let's just go blur it. And then let's do this. So if that background, I need more of this. I need a lot more opacity. If that background was so blurry I couldn't even really see what was going on back there, you have a really much stronger image. I don't need to see the net back there. I don't need to see all that stuff. This would look like that if you had shot it with the right f-stop and the right lens. Right? I mean, it wouldn't be blurry on the edges. I'm doing a really crappy job, but you get the idea.
Yeah, I think it shows the overall feel of how the overall feel of the picture is different.
Right. it would be like this, and then you would have like a little strip in the front that would be out of focus too. It would make a tremendously more compelling photo. Also, a tight crop might help. I can't swear to it, but you know what? The only way you know is to try, is to go for something tight in here. And that's probably a more compelling image than the one you sent.
Yep.
But the background is still killing you. Your backgrounds are just killing you. And you do not need a really expensive lens to get the background out of focus. What you need is a zoom lens to get the background out of focus. You can have that background way out of focus at f5.6. Don't think you have to have an f2.8. Yeah, that's what the pros are going to use. But as long as you're zoomed in tight enough, you're still going to have the background. At f5.6, your background will look fine. It'll look way tremendously better than what you have here. Same problem here. It's a little out of focus in the background. It would be a whole lot better and better, tighter crop. Background's a little out of focus.
Be nice if it were better.
It's not better. You need the background more out of focus.
So same thing, lens choices.
Yeah, these are lens choices. Well, it's lens and f-stop choices because you're in close enough.
Yeah.
And just wait for a little more. I mean, this isn't bad, but it's not. I don't know if this is a super peak moment of action. So I would keep waiting. The guys behind him look bored. You know what it is? We shouldn't be looking at the guys behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but you're not doing badly. You just need a little bit
You're tight
of
enough. It's just a lens choice at this point.
It's just a lens choice at this point. All right. And let's see what we got here. Ooh, that's beautiful. All right, well executed shot.
Yep.
Right time of day. They're probably using an ND filter to get that. That's very nicely done, and I love the location. I wish I knew where it was. This is also very nice. It's a little like non-contrasty up there, but still, I think that's interesting. I don't know what's going on there.
I like that though.
This is very nice. Looks like Machu Picchu.
It does look
I
like
kind of like the framing and all. I kind of like that, and. You know, it's kind of interesting. Unfortunately, I would love it if you could. You might want to get lower for a shot like this so you see less of this and more of this. So picture these two birds. Yeah, if you could get lower here. Mm-hmm. So you probably took this from a standing position because it looks like they are down lower than you are. If you got really, really low and shot them, your background would be those mountains and that sand and not this yucky, distracting stuff here. Now, at the same time, these two birds aren't doing anything tremendously interesting.
Right.
They're just kind of eating. So timing could help you here. If you were patient and shot down lower, I think you could have something there. But this is a good photographer. This is an accomplished photographer. This is
like that.
Well, you know what this is? This looks like the gag shot compared to these.
Yeah.
This is like serious photographer. Wah, wah, wah. It's cute. She's talking to a llama, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah,
but it's not this, and it's not
that.
this, and it's not this. Your sweet spot is that stuff, and you're doing good there.
And I know that has nothing to do with. I know that it has nothing to do with
Your
the
homeland.
actual. No, my homeland. That's not my homeland. Go back to the.
You don't have a llama?
No, we don't have llamas in Mexico.
No, you have a llama at your house.
I have a llama at my house.
Okay.
What you call it? Move over there. I wish this were perspective corrected. Like, you see how this slants that way? Like, I wish it were just straight.
Do you mean you want more like that?
Yeah. Or try auto. Just try auto. Nope.
Well, you have
maybe
to
vertical.
You have to put a profile in. I don't know what kind of camera they had.
Oh, no, I thought it would have just done it if you would have gone to vertical. I don't think it needed.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure. Yeah. No?
Without the profile, it needs the. I mean, it'll do a little something, but you'd have to do this manually. You'd have to kind of straighten it like that. How's that?
Yeah.
And then you change the aspect ratio a little bit to make it a little wider. So look at the difference there. So it's not leaning.
Yeah.
Is that better? Does that help?
Yeah. Yeah, that would have done it.
And it needs to be rotated a little bit. There's a couple of lens issues here, but that's kind of minor stuff. And it looks like it's bowing a little too. It's bowing. I'm trying to get that straight. It's not going to happen now. I bowed it the wrong way. Anyway, they're not bad. You're a good photographer though. You're doing good. You got some good stuff. And I think we got through everybody today. I think that's all 15, which is rare for us. Hey, want to mention there's only 13 days left to save $200 off tickets to the Photoshop World Conference and Expo in Las Vegas. Hey, we're doing it in August this year, August 11th, 12th, and 13th. That's pretty big. That's a pretty big thing for us because we always do it in September, and every educator in the world says, why don't you guys ever do it earlier? You're starting Photoshop right when school starts.
Yep.
So this time we're hoping to get, we have a lot of educators that are Kelby One subscribers and members. So we hope you'll check that out. Also, Peach Pit has an e-deal.
That's right. You can get 40% off of this e-deal. Go to peachpit.com/Kelby1. And there it is. The award-winning best-selling book about design, The Non-Designer's Design book by
Robin Williams is great. She's very, very talented. One of her books many, many years ago when I was a full-time graphic designer really got me excited about type. And I think it was called The Mac is Not a Typewriter.
Yeah.
And it was the first time someone introduced me to the idea of typography. And so she's a terrific writer. Very, very clear. I met her at one occasion at some event at Macworld Expo. And she's very interesting lady, very smart.
Absolutely. So now you can get 40% off of that ebook deal. Make sure you go to peachpit.com/Kelby1, enter in the code Kelby1 for that.
Enter the code. Also, the latest issue of Photoshop User Magazine is just hitting members right now. You can also find it, of course, on newsstands. You can get it delivered to your door 10 times a year. So think about this, Photoshop User Magazine, right? And we're about to do some giveaways, so don't go away. Photoshop User Magazine, about 118 to 120 something pages per issue.
Right.
As a Kelby One subscriber, you get it delivered to you 10 times a year. If you're in the U.S., you get the print version. If you're international, you get the digital version. Do you realize that that's over 1,000 pages of Photoshop and Lightroom training? Just that. Forget all the online classes. Forget all the other kind of stuff and all. That's over 1,000 pages. I think that's pretty amazing. Go learn about Kelby One. We work here. This is a Kelby One production, and you can learn from us all the time. So we hope you'll check it out.
We're very grateful for you guys to actually send in pictures that we can take a look at. But it's also important to be able to mention that if you did want in-person critiques, that's the kind of stuff that we also do at Photoshop World. So we talked about Photoshop World earlier. That's something to keep in mind as well. Yeah, so at Photoshop World, like if you're a wildlife photographer, imagine having Moose Peterson do your critique, or Joe McNally, or any of these amazing photographers. But can I tell you something? We used to do it for free. It used to be completely free, and we do it for like days on end. So you one-on-one critique with the instructors, and now we charge $25. Do you know why we charge $25? Why?
To get you to show up. Because what people would do is they'd sign up for a critique and they wouldn't show up. And then there's an empty slot instructor sitting there with nobody to critique, right? So now we do charge you $25. So, but you know what? Everybody shows up. Nobody misses their critique. But I tell you what, it'll be the best $25 you've ever spent because you're going to have a one-on-one critique where you can really get into it. Here, we're only able to scratch the surface.
That's right.
Right? But it's you one-on-one with an instructor, and it's a really wonderful experience. I hope if you go to Photoshop World, it's something that you take a look at because it's very well worthwhile. We have 3 awesome giveaways today. Awesome is awesome. First, Moose Peterson's Warbirds, his Warbirds class it's Aviation Photography, Warbirds and the Men That Flew Them. This is just a brilliant thing. We don't turn a whole lot of classes into downloads, and this is one of them. So
right, it's a collector's edition.
It's a collector's edition.
Make sure
go ahead and get that. Number 2.
It's
Jay
not about
Mazel's brand new book that is tearing up the charts. It's not about the f-stop.
So wonderful stories and beautiful photography from one of the
it's for that next
masters
level
that's out
stuff.
there. Now, on top of all of that, the third book that we're going to be giving
brand
away,
new, just out this week. Boom.
Just out, Lightroom CC for digital photographers by Mr. Scott Kelby himself.
He called me Mr.
Definitive Bible.
Dun,
if I may say so.
Thank you, RC, for saying that because I would fire you if you didn't. Anyway, I'm kidding.
How do we get it? I kid.
I'm kidding.
Why? Because I love.
Why? Because I love.
How do you do it? Make sure you go to kelby1.com/contest. Put in your name, put in your email address.
You got to do /webcast/
No, it'll bring you. It'll bring you to
take it there too.
Yeah, it'll do it.
Oh, all right.
So, put in your name, put in your email address, put in your website, and leave us a comment. Tell us something positive. Tell us something negative. Tell us what you want to see. We'd be more than happy to do it. This is your show. Happy to do it.
So my buddy Jeff Revell, who by the way, forget it. Anyway. So my buddy Jeff Revell just sent me a note. He's been to Machu Picchu, and he said unequivocally that we were actually correcting. I'm going to read his comment. That doorway is slanted. That doorway is slanted. So you were correcting the Incans' hard work.
I know that it was slanted. I know it's a slanted
But there's
doorway.
something else going on there. It's not all just slanted work.
So,
Now, while I may challenge Jeff on the slanting amount of that photo, I would never challenge him on knowing which pickups should be in which particular guitar body.
is he that good?
Dude, he is you know how there's people that really know the camera, like they can take the camera apart with their eyes closed. Every time I talk to Jeff, he's hot rodding something. He's like, okay, I took these pickups out and I put these other picks in, and these are single coil and dual coil, and I took this switch so you're running 5 pickups at once. He's inside his guitar. I never open my guitar. I call Jeff all the time and go, what's this switch do? And he's like, oh, that activates the active pickups and does all this. Dude, he's got a workbench he's like
Wow.
Mr. Guitar.
Did not know that.
He could build a guitar no sweat. But as far as his ink and stuff goes, well,
It's a little slanted.
it's a little slanted if you ask us, Jeff. All right. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching this week's Grid. I will not be here next week. RC will be here. Who's your guest? You have a special guest next week.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
He's not sure, but there'll be a special guest. And if not, it'll be someone else here, sitting here, because I'll be on the road. Brad, any final words of wisdom from you? Love? Is it all you need?
He said he wants love.
He wants love. All right, look. Should we bring up? No.
No.
Okay, because Brad will walk off if we bring it up.
Yeah. What? But
I,
that
I
face.
whatever.
RC just tells me, I'm not here next week.
I've got a thing.
Oh, he's got. We can't say anything about it yet, can we?
I've got a thing, and I want you guys. You guys are gonna. We'll talk about it next week.
RC's got the coolest thing in the world coming up next week.
But we'll talk about it on the blogs. We'll talk about it on social
Yeah,
sites.
you'll see it on all.
I'm
the
very
social
excited
media.
about the thing. Just make sure that you guys are checking the blog.
He's got a thing,
It's a thing.
and you can quote it. RC has a thing. That should be the quote, the tweet of the week. RC
Find out next week.
has the thing. Oh, Brad's waving.
If we do not have anybody, a special guest here next week, but the week after next, John Keatley will be here.
Ooh, from Seattle, right?
Yes.
All right.
That'll be good.
Hey, yeah. So, Brad,
Yeah.
I'm not here next week. Mm-hmm. RC's not here next week.
I'll probably be home just, lounging around.
You probably will be home lounging around, won't you?
I don't know. We'll figure something out.
What do you do when I'm gone?
Stuff. I hang up pictures in the hallway. I did all the
The
things.
stuff.
Oh, okay. Good to know. All right, one last thing and we're going to go. Do you live in London? Do you live in the UK? Do you have a way to get to the UK? Do you don't mind flying or using a train? I'm coming to London to teach my brand new, all new tour. Completely new, not what I taught last year. New stuff. My brand new tour, Shoot Like a Pro Reloaded, in London on July 14th. That's right. July 14th. My lovely wife will be there with me. Our kids will be there. You will see none of them.
Right.
You might see my wife and kids stop by.
Make sure that you go over
There
to
it is.
kelby1.com/live, go to the seminars, and go to Shoot Like a Pro
That's
Reloaded.
me. And then
This
go
is the
to
seminar.
Swing in London.
Right there. Right
London,
there.
July 14th.
Make sure
Come
you
and
check 'em out.
swing with me. That sounds bad, but you know what I mean.
God, I want to tell them about my thing. I won't.
Can you tell them about it?
No, my thing is huge. It's one of those things where
There's the
it's
quote.
like,
I'm sorry. There's the quote. Out of RC, my thing is huge.
what I want to tell you is huge.
No, that's not what he said.
Sorry. Get it?
Caliber's like, don't say
Oh,
it.
Lord.
I didn't say it.
We got to go.
I didn't say it. RC said it. Quote of the week from RC. My thing is huge.
Meredith, fade to black.
This
gotta
is a
go.
good time to fade to black.
We'll see you guys.
Go to the
next
jib.
week
Go to the jib.
Here on the
Jibby.
Grid. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.